Hi everyone. So today we are going to start with the recall questions of AIIMS PhD examination for the session of July 2023 that happened on September 2. We are going to start with aptitude questions since AIIMS don't release its question paper. So the students who have taken the exam, the questions are taken from them. So let's do the recall. So the pattern of exam has been like there were 30 questions from aptitude part which were common to everyone and the 40 questions that were subject specific. So let's go for the first question. So which of the guidelines are for cohort study? So cohort study is a observational study where you recruit your subjects at the present time and do a follow up. It's a longitudinal study, not a cross sectional one. So you follow up for a long period of time to see for risk factor or any disease outcome or outcome for your study. So remember like 6 guidelines only. The most common are Prisma, Consort, Strobe, Moose, Starred, Spirit. So Prisma, you can remember it by SMA, Systemic Reviews and Meta-Analysis. That's the highest level of evidence in research literature above RCT. Another one is Consort, that is for reporting trials, RT. So it is done for RCT or RT's trials. Next one is Strobe. So it's for reporting of observational studies in epidemia. So observational study, cohort is an observational study. So Strobe is for cohort. Next one is meta-analysis of observational studies. So that's a meta-analysis guideline. Moose. Next one is starred. So that's for reporting of diagnostic accuracy studies. Last one is spirit. It for interventional trials. So we have 2 guidelines for trial, consort and spirit, and one for observational study, strobe. So the answer is strobe. Next question is which of these is a free online reference manager? So reference manager is a software that helps in managing of references. So at the very end of a research article you have seen there are references like 1 this research paper, 2 this research paper. If you are writing a research paper then you have to cite those references in the text like this article tells, so there is a 1 over here or over here. So there are softwares for these to handle references. They are make your life easy while writing a paper. So most popular are EndNote, Zotero, Mendeley. So EndNote is paid, Zotero and Mendeley are free, and Mendeley since it is not in the option, so we would go for Zotero. So next question is all of the following are limitation to establish a framework for quality control in research except. If you don't know the answer to this question, like if you're confused about it, then try to go for some heuristic like common sense, that option which make you like research data is prone to fluctuation seems true, research protocols are continually evolving, that also seems true, methodology is not well defined for quality control, that also seems true, all quality control methodologies are well established, since it doesn't seem true and it encompasses all quality control methodology. So I would like to go for here option D. The next one is a kind of a pattern based puzzle question. So you can see A, B, here should be C, since there is a D, there is G, Z, Y, here should be X. There are number over here, so 1, 2, here should be 3. Since there is 3, it should be 3 here in superscript or 3 here in subscript. So in the pattern you can see 1 is superscript, 2 is subscript, so 3 should be superscript and 4 subscript. So pattern says that this should be the right answer. So we would go for option B. Next GK question, how many countries are there in the world? It's around 195. So that's the answer. So next question from the sports part. So who won the first Olympic medal for India? It's like the answer is KD Yadav. So Abhinav Bindra has won, PV Sindhu has won, but the first was First who won was KD Jadhav. He won for wrestling. The next question is guess the next pattern. So what happens in this question is like you have to establish a pattern first. The common pattern could be a rotational pattern. Ki this figure is rotating on some axis here or there. Here you can see the star has gone here, the circle has gone here, and the cross has gone here. So you can see it is rotating this way, this way. So next rotation would be that the cross is here, circle is here, and star is here. So see the option which goes with this option and mark that. There are questions asked on the basis of group of animals or group of birds, so you can revise those before giving the test one day prior. You don't have to learn it by heart because there are too many, and it might not help you to learn because you don't have a huge source which encompasses all the animals, and it's kind of bit confusing. So either leave the question or go with the common sense. So a group of snake known as den, and this is a website where you can see the group of animals, but it doesn't encompass all the animals. So with respect to Nagaland, where is Kerala located? Nagaland is here, Kerala is here on the map of India, and this is south, north, east, west. Sorry, it is north, it is south. So it's like on southwest. This. So southwest is the answer. Choose odd one out of the following. So like this is ant, this is ant. So embryo is the stage of development. Like first is a zygote, then it becomes an embryo. So it seems that embryo is the odd one out here. If you are not sure about what Tapinomus sessile is, it is also an species of ant, but you can go with the common sense that two options are same. Which of the following is spelled wrong? So here the option was little, which was spelled wrong. Next question is which of the following graphs is used to compare two or more quantitative data set? If you have seen the example of these two data set bit compare quantitative, so these are histogram markings which can be used to compare data set. So I'm not sure about the correct answer here, but I would like to go with histogram. Bar diagram, there are too much space in between. Histogram are compacts. Line diagram is kind of a frequency polygon only, similar to, but I would like to go with histogram. A group of 4 individuals has an average weight of 80 kg. Fifth person, 80 kg is added. Since both have same weight, the new average would be also 80 kg. I don't know why they add this silly question to the exam. Next one is choose the odd one out. So this one is decimal, all are whole numbers. So option A seems likely. The next GK question, Vande Bharat train. It was also known as Train 18 because it was planned to start operating by 2018. That's why they named it Train 18. Which of the vitamin is used for blood clotting? So vitamin K is needed for blood clotting. It is used by the liver to produce some clotting factors. So the clotting factors which are 2, 7, 9, 10. So vitamin K helps in production of these clotting factors. These are pro-clotting factors. There are also some anti-clotting factors that also requires vitamin K, that are protein C and protein S. These vitamins have their own use. They are collectively used as antioxidant in body. Vitamin A is also used in eye as to make retinol. Vitamin C used in healing and prevents scurvy. Which of the following is spelled correctly? So demonstrate here has been spelled correctly. Which of the following is first hospital in India? So Madras Medical Hospital was the first hospital in India to get established by East India Company. It was later converted to Madras Medical College, a public medical college. It was established as a public medical college in 1835, which is one of the two most oldest public colleges in India, established in 1835 along with Kolkata Medical College. That was also established in 1835. Next question is the water content of a raw mango is 68% and the water content of dry mango is 20%. If 100 kg of raw mangoes are used, what would be the weight of dry mango sheet produced? Let's say we have 100 kg of mangoes that has 68% water, H2O plus 32% raw weight. Now we have dry them up to produce sheet. So water would be drying. So water has contained since it's 100 kg, so it would be 68 kg water, 32 kg dry. Since the water is drying up, so water has been reduced to some 20% of the amount, but we don't know what is that amount. So let's say x kg has been water that has been remained. Since the dry weight won't get reduced because it's totally dry, so it would still be 32. So x kg plus 32 is now the weight of the dry mango sheet. Okay, so dry mango sheet. Now what information do we have? It's saying that the water content of dry mango sheet is 20%. So this is the water content of dry mango sheet, x kg. It is 20%. So x by x plus 32 is 20%. X is the water content and x plus 32 is the whole weight of dry mango sheet. Remember to do x plus 32 in the denominator. So now x by x plus 32 is equal to 2 by 10. 10x is equal to 2x plus 64. 8x is equal to 64. X is equal to 8. So the value of x is 8. Now the weight of dry mango sheet is 8 plus 32 is equal to 40. So 40 kg is the answer here. So why trials? So the question could be asked that phase for trials like phase 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, why it is done. So phase 4 trials are done to establish to monitor the rare side effects of drug. So you can search on the online. I have searched this, but it is not a good example. So there could be a good example about it, which phase done. So I'm not explaining this because it's not a good example I have here. But remember that after phase 3, the drug is launched in the market. Here the drug is launched in the market. And phase 4 is like done after, is like a surveillance, long-term surveillance. The drug is released in the market and it is used to it is being used by a large number of population. So now we can monitor the real side effect. For efficacy, it is like in phase 3 it is kind of RCT. So remember that phase 3 RCT done, it is compared with the standard line of treatment if it's better or not. It is randomized usually, that's why RCT. Sometimes it is not because randomization is not achievable in some cases when there is no standard treatment or there is clear cut benefit of the drug, so there is no point of randomizing. And in 012 we are kind of determining the side effect, efficacy. In first we are doing very small dose of treatment. There here efficacy isn't determined, just the pharmacokinetics and pharmacodynamics of drug. Pharmacokinetics only, ki how drug is, how much level the drug has attained in the blood, how it is getting eliminated by the body. After that it's like we are determining the some efficacy and side effect of the drug in a some low amount of people, like it's kind of a pilot study. After that we increase it to some large number of people to establish an effective dose. Next question is a GK question ki the famous athlete Neeraj Chopra's best at Budapest 23 World Championship. So answer is 88.7. I don't know why they ask this type of question. It's kind of good that he has won medal for India, but I don't think any relevance here. Who invented the laptop? Still no relevance. Adam Mossberg invented. Now let's go to the sensitivity of a clinical test used to find the true proportion of people. So what you can do is like you can remember the formula of sensitivity or definition of sensitivity. If you don't, then I will give you a trick to remember. So let's first go into the what do you mean by sensitivity. So what happens in the population, like there is a population where the disease, some people have disease, some people don't have disease. Now what you do testing. Test can either come positive, test can either come negative. So now from the combination aspect, from the aspect of combination, there exists 4 possibilities. What are these possibilities? Disease positive, disease negative, test positive, test negative. So the person has the disease and the test comes out to be positive, then it is known as true positive test. Like the test is positive and it's true because the person has a disease. Now what happens that the test turns out to be positive but the person don't have the disease. So test is positive but the person don't have disease, so that's false positive test. False positive, true positive. Now what can happen is like the person has the disease but test turns out to be negative, so it is a negative test but it is not true test, it's false negative because the person have the disease but the test turned out to be negative. Now what happens is like the person don't have the disease and test turns out to be negative, so it's true negative. So that what happens. Like what do you say is like example of false positive is like let's say the person who is biological male getting pregnant, that's false positive. And a biologically female person who is pregnant but the urine test shows negative, so that's false negative. So I will give you example. So how sensitivity and specificity are determined? There is a one formula. Definition is like sensitivity, total disease, true positive. So all true positive test divided by people who have the disease. So the formula comes out to be TP divided by disease positive is TP plus FN. So if you can't remember this formula or this definition, like let me tell you about a brief idea of sensitivity. So the sensitivity came into effect of how we are gonna determine things. Like if I say, let's say there is a screening test. Screening is done to identify the person who are diseased so that we can identify them at the early stage. So let me give you an example of cancer. So there is a disease, let's take an example of breast cancer. The person have breast cancer So idea of sensitivity is like that ki pick up any person who has the chance of cancer. Like it means that the you should pick up the person who has disease, but it's like ki it could be false positive, false negative, true negative, true positive. So how do we increase the sensitivity of the test is like ki pick everyone who have the disease, so our sensitivity is directly proportional to true positive. But what, when can we say that test is highly sensitive? When there is no, what do you say, no false negative. Let's say somebody has cancer and you test him or her and the test turns out to be false negative, means the person has the cancer but the test is recognizing him or her as a negative. So that's not a good part, because you're missing the cancer here. So the sensitivity of the test should be inversely proportional to the false negative. So there should be as much as true positive present or as low as false negative. So it comes out that sensitivity should be proportional to false true positive and inversely proportional to false negative. So the ratio becomes, since it's a proportional, where if we remove the proportion, the formula becomes true positive divided by, since is a numerator is contained in the denominator, true positive plus false negative. If we turn out the false negative to 0 and true positive automatically goes up by 1, so 1 by 1 plus 0 is equal to 100%, then we can say that the test is not missing any cancer. It doesn't mean that false positive will be there. Like we are not hoping ki if the person, if test comes out with false positive, like if somebody doesn't have a cancer but the test takes him that the if the person have the cancer, like it's a false positive test. So it's a not that serious condition, because after testing more we can assure that that person don't have a cancer. So we are not afraid of false positive, we are afraid of false negative in sensitivity. So let's go now to the, so answer become it's identify the proportion of people with the disease, not predisposed with the disease, not the risk factor for the disease. It identify the people who are predisposed with the disease. So the predictive value of a positive test is. Now let's go back to the situation. Now what happens is, like I have told you that key disease positive, disease negative, true test positive, test negative. This is true positive, this is false negative. So this is false positive, this is true negative. So what happens that the test turn out to be positive? It could be a true positive or false positive. So what's the predictive value? Predictive value means that key how much are you sure that the person who got the positive test have the disease. That is probability of disease given the test is positive. So that's predictive value of a positive test. You can easily see that the formula would be like here, given all the test, all positive test, true positive. So TP divided by TP plus FP. It is not similar to sensitivity. Remember that sensitivity has Fn here. So that's predictive value of positive cells. A is the answer. There's also a formula in terms of predictive value of positive test in terms of sensitivity, specificity, and prevalence. Check the formula online. It's kind of like sensitivity into prevalence divided by sensitivity into prevalence plus 1 minus specificity or 1 minus prevalence. I'm not sure is SN or specificity or sensitivity. This question can also be asked. Now the next question is, the clinician while evaluating patient for a specific disease is categorizing them as no evidence, no, mild, moderate, severe. So that's categorization which are data type. So data can be continuous or discrete. Continue or discrete. So discrete is like nominal. You give name to things. Like how do you give name to the things? Let's say Nominal is like giving just sex, male and female. It's a nominal type of data. Also you can name things like uh, breeds of dogs, breeds of cat, like species of animal. It is dog, it is cat, it is cow. So it's also nominal data. Next is ordinal. Ordinal is like order. There is an inherent order. It is not continuous, but there is an order inside it, like classes, like first class, second class, up to 10th class, 5 plus 1 plus 2. So there is an order inside it. They're not continuous data, but there is an order. So order could be in several things. So here you can see that there is some order in the thing, like no evidence of disease would be placed at last and severe would be placed at highest, because there's order. The next category is some, we can compare the different categories. In these we can't compare male and female in terms of orderness. We can't compare dog, cats. It's an ordinal scale. Interval and ratio scale are used for continuous data. Since this is not a continuous data type, so we are not going for option B and C and not going for option A. It's an ordinal scale. Now next question is that there was given an article with like Professor Roy T.S. and it's an article. So they gave the citation style and asked what is the citation style inside it. We don't have the correct question, like correct is the question or not, but most probably it is the correct question. Might be wrong about the citation style in the question, but let me tell you a trick about citation style. So APS citation style is used for education, psychology and sciences. MLA is used for humanities only. Chicago style is used for fine arts. Vancouver style is used for health sciences. So since an article related to health sciences, so most common answer would be either Vancouver or APA. So there could be only two options. So since APA has different format, so the answer most likely should be Vancouver. The next one is a pathologist is classifying histopathological slide into squamous, adeno and others. Since they are different categories, so not a continuous, a discrete data type. Discrete means nominal, and you should answer this question ordinal. Since there is no order to this thing, they are different cancer types, so there is no inherent order inside it. They're just different names. So, and this is nominal data. So it would be binominal or multinomial. Since it is there are three, so this is multinomial. Next, similar question we dealt with the group of snakes. Now we have to deal with group of pandas. So a group of pandas is known as embarrassment. Joe is to kangaroo as Turk is to poult. The question was slightly confusing because the poult should option be here. Joe is the baby of kangaroo, so they are comparing the baby with adult. So the option B is likely. Identify the odd one out. So this question came. So just going by some common sense, I'm thinking the option should be this one, because there are 3 points and the 1 point in the center of this triangle, and likely in this triangle, but this point is not to the in the different triangle here. It should be either here, but it's in this one. So I guess the D should be the option. So that's all the 30 question, guys. Comment below if you have any doubt, and share with your fellow friends. Bye.